Spring 2026 romance anime was absolutely amazing and will go down in history as one of the greatest seasons for romance anime. However, summer 2026 has some very good ones in store. Whether it's a new step-sibling romance, or a new romance about a girl who turns into a kaiju when flustered, or maybe a sequel to your favorite past romance, it doesn't matter, you're definitely excited for some new romance anime this summer. So that's why I, the anime litter, am going to be starting a new series where I rank my favorite romance animes of the summer 2026 season every week on Sundays. So without further ado, let's get into the 4 new romance animes I watched this week. At number 4, I have Kaiju Girl Carmelise. Now this one I was actually really excited for. It's about a girl who turned into a kaiju when flustered. That's pretty interesting premise. And this first episode did not disappoint whatsoever. I must say, it was really good. The jokes were landing. Alright, it was fun. It was nice. Minami seems like a pretty good love interest. Kuro is seems like a good MC. We even got to see her go full on kaiju mode, which, that was peak as shit to say the least. Production seems pretty good. I like the music. I like the animation. There's really nothing for me to complain about production-wise. I put it down here at 4, and it's technically last for this week, but I could see it being up pretty high for the next couple of weeks. I put it down here at 4 because I just think that some of these other episodes are better, like the first episodes of these other series, but there's nothing really wrong with this episode. It's a good first episode. Again, not really bad, just not as good as some of these other ones. Like number 3, which is Please Excuse My Younger Brothers. Yes, the step-sibling romance of the summer 2026 season. Oh my god, how the heck do I keep watching these? Alright, let's talk about it. The show is about our main character Ito, who grew up without a father. However, right before the start of her second year of high school, her mother marries a new man, and now she moves in, only to find out she has 4 new stepbrothers. Now, I don't know for sure if this is a romance, but I did see an Instagram post saying this was a romance, and, I'm not going to be like, this is the first time I've seen step-sibling romances. No, I've watched my fair share of these, okay? But, I was just bored one day, and I saw it on Crunchyroll, and I was like, you know what, might as well check it out. And I must say, I was pleasantly surprised with this very first episode. The show was actually pretty fun. I liked the cast. Overall, the music at the end was pretty nice, too. The animation style was very nice. Again, production-wise, pretty good. Story-wise, I really didn't hate it. It, again, was pretty fun. The jokes were landing, and it was very nice. Gen, the oldest brother, kind of gives me like Itsuomi vibes from A Sign of Affection. Maybe that's just because they kind of look the same character design-wise, but he kind of has like that, personality where he doesn't really talk as much, but he acts fast and he does stuff. I don't really know how to explain it, but that's what the kind of the vibe I'm getting from him. And he seems pretty nice, even if it is and kind of weird, because this again could be romance. I hope it's a little more fun. I really don't know what's going on here, but again, the show was very fun and very nice. Ito seems to be like trying to play like this older sister role / mother role, where she's like trying to do a bunch of chores and stuff, and it's very nice. I really don't hate that type of character. I really want to see your character kind of develop, and really, instead of being like this pillar that the brothers can lean on to, like, just being a friend, like turning into one of the bros. I really hope that's what her character arc develops into. It seems nice, very good. That's why it's here at number 3. But at number 2, we have one of my most anticipated romance animes of this season, and honestly, this entire year, in Rich Girl Caretaker. Literally, like, all day I was waiting until 1:10 p.m. because that's the time it was able to release in my time zone. And, let me tell you, it was worth the wait, because that episode 1 was peak as heck. I mean, goodness, we had so many great moments. The plot follows the main character, Itsuki Tomonari, a high school student who grew up with like 2 gambling and deadbeat parents who take all of his money he saved up to pay for his tuition for his second year of high school, and they just leave him, abandon him high and dry. So now all he has left is like 200 yen. He walks past this one girl who's like this insanely rich girl, and all of a sudden she gets kidnapped, and trying to be the good guy he is, kind of gets in the way of the 2 kidnappers, but ends up getting kidnapped with her, and he can't really do much. While being kidnapped, Hinako, the rich girl that was kidnapped with him, actually takes a liking to Itsuki and eventually asks him to become his caretaker, where that eventually leads on to the rest of the episode, where they build a whole bunch of setup for the rest of the season. This is looking like a really, really good one. There was plenty of cute moments, a bunch of fun moments. I was really excited. The jokes, again, were landing. But overall, like I said, this first episode was a lot of setup. That's why it's at number 2, because at number 1, we got one of the best romance animes of all time returning, and that, of course, is You and I Are Polar Opposites, Season 2, Episode 1, released today, and I must say, it was absolute cinema. This first episode of season 2 had a lot of focus on Taida and Suzuki, which, I mean, yeah, they're the main couple, so of course it's going to be Taida and Suzuki is going to be the main focus of this episode. However, there's also a lot of focus on Taira and Azu, and yo boy loves Taira Azu.
Yes! Hell yeah!
Alright, I think the entire community wants Taira Azu, so of course, this first episode we were eating good, alright, to say the very least. This episode is great. I kind of wanted to see a little more Yamada and Nishi, but that's something we can see later on in the season, I'm very sure. Alright, I'm very much okay with seeing a lot of, again, Taira Azu and Taida Suzuki. This was great. The cast was just being around the cast again was so fun. All of this was amazing. All right, the new intro, I liked it. I don't think it's better than the original intro. Still a good intro. The new outro, also fire. All right. Again, I don't want to compare the first season to the second season too much because I really don't remember as much the music of the second season or much of the music of the first season, so I really can't compare it. But definitely I'm going to do like a comparison video of all like the intros and all the other stuff I've watched eventually. So, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell because I might release a video on that very soon. But yeah, this first episode was amazing. Like, we got to see Taida and Suzuki. We got technically their first kiss. Obviously, this isn't like, it was kind of like accidental at first, and then like the second time they got interrupted. They didn't really get to the full on first kiss moment type stuff. So, probably gonna see that later on in the season. But again, that was a very fun sequence of just, the events of them, like, baking the cake, doing the stuff. That was, again, fun. Again, Taira Azu, I loved that one, where, again, he chases after him, man. Yo boy was hyped. I was literally jumping out of my seat for that one. It was great. Absolutely amazing. Perfect thing to watch after getting off a long shift at work. But yeah, I think we can all agree you and I are polar opposites. It's absolutely goated. So, go ahead and check it out already if you haven't. Because, yeah, peak ass shit. All right. But that's all for this week. That's my ranking, the top 4 I have. I'm going to be watching a lot more throughout the week and Sunday. Of course, I will be back and I will re-rank all this stuff. If you got any recommendations on what I should watch, just let me know down in the comments. Of course, I'm going to be watching some other ones like Swung Behind the Supermarket with You. All right, the second half of season 1. That's one I'm very excited for. Can't wait for that. Trapped in a Dating Sim. I have not watched season 1 yet, so I might try and catch up all in season 1, then watch Trapped in a Dating Sim season 2, and put that into my ranking. I have not watched season 2, or I'm currently watching the first season of The 100 Girlfriends. I'm on like episode 10, so once I catch up, I'm definitely going to start ranking, putting The 100 Girlfriends season 3 into my rankings. I just can't do that yet because obviously I haven't reached season 3, and I'm really purely ranking this off of the new stuff. That way, like, the new stuff has a good chance against even like the past, GOATs. Like, obviously, our polar opposite season 1 is absolutely amazing. And if I counted that into my ranking, it would destroy all the new stuff probably. But that's another debate for another time. Anyways, I'm the Anime Lifter. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.